Hello. Do you want to avoid getting fired for riding the clock? Well, stick with me. I'd like to give you two scenarios that will help you understand the difference between riding the clock and not riding the clock. Now, if you're riding the clock, that means that you can be fired. However, if you follow these steps, because I'm going to give you a gold nugget from G's bag. If you'll listen to this advice, then you will keep your job. Okay, so I'm going to give you two scenarios. The first scenario is an associate reports in to work. They're supposed to start at 8 o'clock, and they get there at 7:45. So they like to get there early because you never know what may happen with traffic or people waiting to clock in. So you don't want to be late, because if you're late, you get a point. So this person clocks in. They brought their breakfast sandwich with them. So they sit down in the break room and they eat their breakfast sandwich. Well, the boss comes along and they were standing there at the desk when they saw you come in and clock in. Now, here you are sitting there in the cafeteria, in the break room, eating your breakfast sandwich. So the boss knows that you're riding the clock. Okay? The boss takes you back to HR, and HR says, we're going to have to suspend you pending the outcome of this investigation. A few days later, you get a call and you're told, hey, we have to discharge you on the grounds of falsification of company documents, time cards, essentially, right? Or, to put it plainly, to put it kind of raw, riding the clock. Well, let me tell you, don't ride the clock. If the clock is not yours, in other words, if you don't own the business, don't ride the clock. That's scenario number one. Now, here's where you want to find yourself. You want to find yourself in scenario number two. It's very plain and easy. So you're supposed to start at 8 a.m. and you get there at 7:45 and you have your breakfast sandwich. You go directly into the break room when you get there, bypass that clock, okay? Have a seat, eat your breakfast sandwich. Once you eat your breakfast sandwich, go ahead and get you something to drink. Go ahead and wash your hands. And by now, it's 7:57. Now, you go and clock in and you go to work. Now, this way, you're not riding the clock. It is against the company policy in most cases to clock in, sit down, eat your food, then get up and go to work. You're getting paid for hours worked, not to eat at work. So again, the lesson here's that nugget just to remind you. If you want to keep your job and not get fired, go in, bypass the clock, eat your breakfast, get you something to drink, wash your hands, go back out, clock in, and go to work. If you do it in the first scenario, in the first scenario, you are going to lose your job, and nobody wants to lose their job. Thank you for reaching into G's bag with me today. So feel free to come back and see me again, because I will be posting additional videos in the near future. Bye.